reason why I even try. Empty but I'm still wasting my time just getting by. As I'm drowning slowly, I'm screaming to nothing just to feel something. This acting one blessing, come on and I see it. Blood deeper I say it. This acting one blessing. What's up? I'm a prisoner of my mind. And I'm falling apart. Pretending, believing that I know I'm not inside. But being so yeah, it kills me slowly. I'm screaming for nothing, just to feel something. This acting one blessing. Come on and I see it. Blood deeper I say it. Listen for the echo, the echo. That's the silent echo, the echo, the echo. I screaming to nothing, just to feel something. 'Cause I need one listening. I screaming to nothing, just to feel something. 'Cause I need one listening. Come on and I see it. Blood deeper I say it. So listen for the echo, the echo. Yes, the silent echo, the echo, the echo. Listen for the echo, the echo. Yes, the silent echo, the echo, the echo. I'm heading on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. Welcome to the mind of a different kind, where we've been growing slowly. Think I'm on 11, but I'm on a 9. Guess you don't really know me. Running from the past is a losing game. It never brings you joy. Been down this road before, already know the story. It's time to face your fears. When your time has come and gone, I'll be the one to carry on. And you can throw me to the waters, 'cause I won't touch the other. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. I want to get where the stars align. Now they say you're just an enemy. You're crossing the line. Now it's run out of time. I'll take what is mine. me when I'm running out. Guess you don't really know me. Running from the past, so there's a game. It never brings you glory. Been down this road before. I already know the story. Under the moon, fighting the darkness, waiting for truth. But here I am stalling, smoke in my lungs, drowning in chaos, I'm biting my tongue. Feels like a standoff, call me a riot. It's not a revolution, be quiet. Against my human nature to be silent. I'll provide it, and at the end of the day, you gon' know my name. Know what, know what, baby. You gon' know my name. Know what, baby. You gon' know my name. Throwing your stones, not gonna break me. Standing alone, ain't gonna shake. I know I'll do what it takes. Shatter the walls. I'll take the pain, I'll take the fall. Call me a riot. It's not a revolution, be quiet. Against my human nature to be silent. I'll provide it, and at the end of the day, you gon' know my name. Know what, baby. You gon' know my name. Know what, baby. You gon' know my name.
Goodbye, 2023. Today is New Year's Day, and we're going to kick off 2024 the right way with the Kingdom live stream. Today, we are reviewing the big season that was known as Season 3 of Harmony and Chaos, the season that changed the series forever, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of things happened in season 3. A lot of things I want to talk about because I think it's important. And it made everything that I did as far as writing the series in season 1, season 2, a lot of that came, full circle in season 3. So a big season. We got a lot to cover. But actually, I actually got a well-written outline drawn out for this one because I wanted to be organized with it. It's a new year, man. I got to start off fresh and do some things differently. Anyway, we got some big news at the end of the podcast as well. I can't wait to tell you some of it. Good stuff. Anyway, guys, the drawbridge is lowered. You guys are filing it into my throne room. I'm getting ready to take the throne room, and I'm looking pretty festive. I actually got glitter on for the occasion. That's right, glitter. But before I go down to that throne room, I've already seen some magic in the chat. I already saw the Chaos Emeralds, the Hedgehogs, ponies. I'm going to need some more of that magic as I begin to make my descent into the throne room. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Happy New Year, guys.
Something more than me, someone to push me to victory. Let's see what we can do together, me and you. Can't be afraid to try. This your fears goodbye. No looking back. You and I were on your day. Full speed ahead. But until the sunset, such a different feeling. Both of us believing we can make it better. Together we can show what we can do. You
right, guys. After a 17.5-minute intro, we are starting right at 2 o'clock. How's that for planning? But yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to get started in this season 3 recap episode of The Kingdom, and what a season of Harmony and Chaos this was. I am your host for The Kingdom, Michael Evans, also the creator of Harmony and Chaos. And as you see, yes, I actually planned this stream out, so I'm not a mess. So, yes. So, season 3 of Harmony and Chaos, I don't know what it was with this season. It started off very violent, and it never really slowed down. But the really cool thing about season 3 is, I took some of the things that I started in season 1, kind of got the ball rolling with some of the storyline on that, and then kind of tied it all together by the end of season 3. So one of the big things from season 1 was the Diary of Princess Aletta, that literally is the only historical evidence of the ponies coming from Mobius. So it was a lot of tying in and planning out of trying to wrap some of that stuff up. As I've stated before, season 3, for some odd reason, just hit differently versus season 2 and especially season 1, where it came a long way from just being, a very friendly series to what has become now, where our heroes just can't seem to stop fighting bad guys. Before we get into it, again, I want to wish you guys a happy 2024. I have plans for myself. Hopefully you guys have some plans for yourselves in 2024. For me, I want to get back into hardcore voice acting and really make voice acting start moving in the right direction toward making that my career. But other than that, guys, I want to get right into it. But okay, like I had stated, season 3 started off very hot. And if we have to go back into season 2, the season finale of that, because if you guys remember, when we had the season finale for season 2, the season ended with season 2 ended with Nightshade being released from his statue. So Sonic and Rainbow Dash had rushed off. Sonic didn't want Rainbow Dash around. He wanted to do it himself, but because he wasn't really quite sure on where to go, Rainbow Dash forced herself to tag along. They were trying to stop Sonya from freeing Nightshade. And we get into it. Then you had this whole scare that Dark Oak was in Equestria, which he was. So Sonic yelled at Rainbow Dash, if we should encounter Dark Oak, I want you to get the hell out of here. I don't want you near me. He's going to try to kill me, and he's very powerful. I don't want to see you get hurt. And Dash just was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. So they were late trying to stop Sonya. So they came to find out that Sonya was maybe she was going to go after Aeon in the human realm. So they went to go intercept her, and as they're intercepting her, they wind up fighting Dark Oak. And it is in that episode where Rainbow Dash is literally beaten by Dark Oak to within an inch of her life. She was brutalized in ways that I didn't think I can brutalize Rainbow Dash. But she was beaten so badly, literally Dark Oak knocked her into a coma. So Rainbow Dash did everything she could, at the end of season 2 to try to protect Sonic. She had her leg shattered by Dark Oak. There was pretty much not a spot on Rainbow Dash that wasn't bloody or wasn't beaten to hell by Dark Oak. She literally was going to throw her life down to save Sonic. And the season 2 ended with Rainbow Dash literally blacking out into a coma. And Sonic Sonic is left holding his bloody wife as Sonic thinks she's dead. And then season 2 ended with Sonic going into his dark form and exploding with rage. So now we get into season 3, where we see a rage-filled Sonic. And the reason I go back to season 2 is because it starts and ends with Sonic. So the first episode, which, God dang it, I started writing season 3 in April of 2019 at a pony convention in Schaumburg, Illinois. That's how long the season took. So the first episode of season 3 was titled Sonic's Revenge, which, if you guys remember, the season finale for this season was titled Aeon's Revenge. And I'll tie that all in to something. I'll tie that all in a little later. So keep that in mind, the 2 revenge stories. So we start season 3 off with Sonic's Revenge. And we see Sonic in his dark form. And he literally, once he transforms into his dark form, obliterates Dark Oak. Completely obliterated him. Winds up splitting him in half with the spin dash. And Dark Oak died within the first 5 minutes of season 3. Really, season 3, and I remember saying this near the end of the second season. I remember telling the fans, keep your eye out on Sonic, because out of all the characters in the series in season 3, moving forward into season 3, Sonic was going to be the character who went through the most emotional changes in season 3. And there's a lot of reasons why he went through a lot of emotional changes. He went through more stress. And really, I wanted to tie in that first episode into the last one. So as season 3 gets started, Sonic beats Dark Oak. Twilight is becoming a lot more weak as her pregnancy is starting to take form. She's starting to enter the second trimester of her pregnancy. So needless to say, she cannot yield magic as much as she wants. So season 3 starts after Dark Oak. The next big thing is Sonic realizes that he does have Alicorn magic flowing through him. And even Twilight says, Twilight wants to drive home the point that, look, Sonic, you're capable of magic. She goes, if you descended from Alicorns, even if it's 30,000, whatever, 40,000 years ago, you still have magic you still have Alicorn magic that's flowing through you. Which is one of the reasons why Twilight decides to give the element of magic to Sonic. We see that in episode 2 of season 3, where Twilight names Sonic the new element of magic. Well, she's going to split it. So she literally gives half of her element of magic powers to Sonic so he's able to yield the element of magic. She tells Sonic, you're capable of magic because of your Alicorn heritage. So it's only natural that you yield, and you're a hero and you have a good heart. So you should be able to yield the element of magic. And Sonic was honored by this. He accepts the invitation. Then he accepts the honor of being the element of magic. Then we go into the third episode of season 3. Twilight is training Sonic. She starts training him on how to hone into that Alicorn magic and how to use the element of magic. She's trying to teach him how to use magic properly. And one of the things she's starting to notice with Sonic is that he is carrying around a lot of anger. All right. We saw that early on in season 3. Sonic is carrying a lot of guilt and a lot of anger towards Aeon. And it's affecting his ability to use his magic, and it was affecting his ability to use the element of magic effectively. So Twilight decides, look, if Sonic can't get past this, he's not going to be able to yield the element of magic like he should properly. So she sets up a fight in the third episode. And this is where Aeon's revenge. This is why I said Aeon's revenge kind of comes into play. So Sonic already having a grudge against Aeon for what he did to Sonya when they were kids, and him not being able to stop Aeon from kidnapping Sonya or, using her powers for his own plot of revenge against Eclipse the Darkling. So Sonic's already got that anger inside him from that. And Twilight's like, he's not going to be able to yield the element of magic. It's going to backfire if he can't let this grudge with Aeon go. So she sets up the fight with Aeon, and Rainbow Dash is kind of skeptical, and she's kind of questioning the whole thing. Like, Sonic is literally going to kill Aeon. Like, he's going to kill him. And Twilight reassures Rainbow Dash, look, Shadow and I aren't going to allow Sonic to kill Aeon. She said, Twilight also reiterated, if Shadow and I have to step in to save Aeon, then Sonic is not, then he's not worthy of holding the element of magic. So this was a test early on in season 3 to see if Sonic could let one of his grudges go, because if he couldn't let it go, it was going to eat him up and eat him up inside. So we get this fight in episode 3 with Aeon and Sonic, and it was a really brutal fight. Like, these two, Sonic and Aeon, beat the ever-living hell out of one another. Of course, Aeon had his amulet, so he was using the amulet's powers to go into a super form. When he went into that super form, he really was able to fight Sonic blow for blow until the very end of the fight, where Sonic went dark. He had transformed into his dark form for the second time in season 3, and he was able to pin Aeon down, and he was able to grab the amulet off of Aeon, and instead of killing Aeon, Sonic crushed Aeon's amulet to pieces, just leaving it in shards. He left it in shards, literally. So Aeon's amulet was destroyed for the first time in season 3. And with Aeon seemingly having no powers now, Sonic let Aeon live with that shame. And yeah, that's literally what it was. From that moment on, Aeon had secretly now held a grudge on Sonic. Not just from their past experiences, but now Aeon is determined, look, Twilight literally set this fight up. She set this fight up with me and Sonic. He just destroyed my amulet. And now, from this moment on, Aeon says no more peace. In his own mind now, he is like, I'm going to take over this world. I'm going to become the god of power, and I'm going to take this world for my own and enslave all of those. I'm going to enslave all of Twilight's friends, enslave Twilight. I'm going to do all that because this is going to be my revenge on them. So we continue on with the season. And right around the mid-season finale, we get to the mid-season finale. And this is where Aeon meets Nightshade for the first time. And he tells Nightshade, he tries to make a deal with Nightshade. Like, he had this one little large piece of his amulet left. Aeon had one little piece of his amulet left. So he makes a deal with Nightshade, and where he says, I want you to use your magic to, fix my amulet. In return, you will become the god of power, because now I can open the portal to Tartarus or something like that. Well, no, that's not how, I'm trying to remember how it went. So Aeon secretly wants to help Nightshade. And he's like, look, if you want to get into Tartarus, you got to fix my amulet. So Nightshade doesn't help him at first because, Nightshade's not really sure if he could trust Aeon from what he heard from Sonya. Keep in mind, Sonya tried to kill Nightshade in the 7th episode of season 3. Sonya literally wanted to absorb the Triad of Power for herself or whatever, so she went after Nightshade early on in season 3. So knowing that, Nightshade is just very skeptical about Aeon, because Sonya had said some stuff to Nightshade about him, and that he couldn't be trusted. So we move on, and we move on, and somehow along the lines, Aeon and Nightshade agree to work together, and it's really the thing with Dark Swirl that led Nightshade and Aeon to work together, because Princess Soletta got involved, and I actually have that written down, so we're going to get into that a little bit later. I do want to get into your guys' chats. I know I see you guys chatting it up. I want to see if there's any questions you guys may have. Elijah Dodorich says, exactly. Good storytelling takes any loose ends and wraps them up. F in the chat for Dashy. Yeah. Lion God said she got the Omni-Man treatment. Sonic went full Super Saiyan. Yeah. Elijah Dodorich, yeah, Blue got it the worst of us. He also says it was between Sonic and Starlight. Janesha Jones, Happy New Year. And sorry if I'm late. I'm still writing for my fan fiction on the old TV show that used to be on back in 2005 called Trolleys. I do remember that show. Happy New Year, Janesha. Janesha also says, if you want to know what it is, I can tell you, or you can look it up. I do remember Trolleys. Elijah also says Sunset was also against the idea herself, right? Yes, she was. Sunset Shimmer wanted Aeon to completely reform and forget about becoming the god of power. She didn't want him to have anything to do with that. And there's a reason why he goes back into it. And like I said, we're going to get into that here in a few minutes. Let's see. Michael Collins says, I have a... Oh, God, I went too far. Maybe I didn't. Michael Collins says, I have a different view from Twilight. While I may not like killing, I understand that it's sometimes necessary. Elijah's excited. Senpai! He also says, yeah, that sounds right. Aeon offered to open a way to Tartarus once his amulet was restored. Yep. Because only the rulers of Equestria can get into Tartarus, and Nightshade doesn't have that ability. However, Aeon can open a portal to Tartarus because that's what his amulet does. It opens up portals. Anywho, Brandon Henderson, will the rest... Oh, I can't read that. Will the rest of the main six become alicorns in Harmony and Chaos? No. Janesha Jones, also, will you be using the power of the elements? The power of the elements power, like Fluttershy can stop time, for example. Sorry for the questions. Yeah, I recently, and I had responded to that on the comment section there, Janesha. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I was thinking about that more recently, about how each element has its own unique powers. And I will say this, in season 4, episode 2, we see Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is going to use her unique power with the element of loyalty. So, yes. To answer your question, yes. It's not gonna be all at once. It's gonna be sporadically. And ironically, it's Silver who tells Rainbow Dash, hey, if you get in a bind, don't forget you still got your element of magic on. You can use its own powers. So yes, we do get into that moving forward. Brandon Henderson says, how better off would the entire main six be if they were all alicorns in canon MLP? Yeah, that would definitely benefit them. Michael Collins says, I personally think that although I like alicorns, I think there should be less of them, not more. I think we have a good ratio, Michael, of alicorns in the series. Sonic is not a true alicorn. He's not a true alicorn. He does have the magic abilities of an alicorn. But again, he's evolved from tens of thousands of years of evolution and lineage. So he still has the magic, but he doesn't necessarily have the alicorn drip like we see Celestia or Twilight have. I will be sure to look at Discord, Solaria. I'm also going to continue working on season 4 after this stream is over, so I don't want to get too much into Discord today because I still want to write season 4. Let's see, what else do I want to say about the opening here? The other thing about season 3 that hit hard was just the upgraded violence. I really wanted to up the ante on the violence scenes that we did have, which was seemingly like every other episode there was a major fight going on, which was great. Despite the augmented level of violence in season 3, I felt like it wasn't just blood splatter and fighting all the time. I felt like there was, the right amount of fighting, and then the dialogue matched up with it. I just felt like there was a good balance of dialogue and violence, which, in any kind of a series, whether you watch it on television, whether you watch it on YouTube, I think by the 3rd season, you really should be ramping up more intense storylines. I love the progression of Harmony and Chaos from season 1 to now. I just felt like it has progressed so naturally upwards as far as intensity, story development, the violence. It's all kind of just augmenting on a steady uphill. And I like it. It's not just a series that starts off blood and guts, blood splatter, violence. No, we kind of have to work our way up towards it. And that's really it. The other big thing about season 3 are the character changes, which I'm going to get into right now, as a matter of fact. Like I said, I'm going to kick things off with Sonic because for years, I have, for like the last 5 years, since the end of season 2, I said Sonic was going to be the character that season 3 was going to revolve around. He was the character that was going to go through the most changes of any character in the series. And he was essentially the character who went through the biggest changes. He picked up a lot of stress. Again, we go back to the very first episode of this season where Sonic literally thought Rainbow Dash was murdered. That's an emotional trauma that he went through. And we saw the end result of that. Sonic has a dark form. That was introduced, and we saw just how powerful Sonic's dark form is. The other really big thing that led Sonic to a lot of these changes is his hatred for Aeon, letting that grudge go, and also learning about his Alicorn magic, which we see that he struggles early on in season 3 with it, trying to learn how to use it, what are the limitations, what can he do with the magic, all that other good stuff. Twilight starts off by training him. She gets distracted a lot by not only her pregnancy, but she gets distracted by a lot of the stuff that's going on in Europony with Nightshade, because Nightshade was up to some antics. If you remember, Nightshade, Fidget, and Sonia were having their grudge. So at one point, Nightshade gets upset because William, his what we call his nephew, Will Atkinson, now known as Prince William, was named the ruler of Europony, which Nightshade then gets very upset over that. And then Twilight and Shadow go over there to try to, talk Nightshade down a little bit to try to get him to ease the tensions. We go into the mid-season finale, and Nightshade and Will have a verbal altercation. Will got a little physical with Nightshade, and we see Nightshade kind of vowed a revenge. He told Will to watch his back, so to speak. And so Twilight is very distracted. She's very distracted with what's going on. So she really didn't have the time to focus on Sonic's training, and she really didn't have the time to teach Sonic on how to use magic to fight magic. And that's kind of a big deal because Um, we then see the emergence of Dark Swirl. So how Dark Swirl came about. Dark Swirl is a chaos demigod, and she is attacking Princess Luna from the Chaos Emeralds. So what she's doing is she's essentially infiltrating Luna's mind when Luna's trying to sleep. And she is able to use, because Dark Swirl had Luna's role, when Dark Swirl was alive on Mobius, her role was Princess Luna's role. She wasn't quite a princess yet, but she was the overseer of the Dream Realm. So Dark Swirl begins to infiltrate Luna's mind through her dreams. The other thing that Dark Swirl was able to do, she was able to manifest her spirit into reality using Luna's dreams. So she was able to manipulate reality somehow, where she was able to enter Equestria spiritually through Luna, through the Dream Realm, and then she was attacking our heroes through Luna's dreams. We saw Dark Swirl appear multiple occasions, tried to kill... she tried to kill Fluttershy and Tails first, and then she went after the Cutie Mark Crusaders, just so she could try to force Princess Luna to release her from the Chaos Emeralds. She wants Princess Luna to become Nightmare Moon, and essentially become her minion and release her from the Chaos Emeralds, or convince. She wants to convince Luna to convince Knuckles, I should say, to set her loose from the Chaos Emeralds. And we see by the mid-season finale, Luna has been completely corrupted by Dark Swirl. She's been under relentless attack to the point where she's just not getting any sleep at all. So it weakens her mind. She allows Dark Swirl to infiltrate her mind, and then this is where we see the transformation of Princess Luna into Nightmare Moon. She convinces Knuckles during Prince William's coronation ceremony, which was the mid-season finale. We see the full transformation of Princess Luna back into Nightmare Moon. She convinces Knuckles to release Dark Swirl from the Chaos Emeralds. Luna convinced Knuckles that Sonic was going to be able to defeat Dark Swirl. And every time Sonic was close to killing Dark Swirl, Dark Swirl would wake Princess Luna up, so Dark Swirl wasn't killed. So in order to prevent that from happening, Luna would have to convince Knuckles to release Dark Swirl from the Chaos Emeralds, which she did. And the reason why Luna is able to convince Knuckles of this is she says, now Dark Swirl, if you release Dark Swirl from her Chaos Emerald, she won't be able to escape by waking me up anymore. She'll be in this realm alive, so Sonic will be able to kill her. Look, Sonic's already proven he can handle Dark Swirl. But what Sonic didn't realize is that Dark Swirl was giving Sonic a false sense of hope. She was not fighting Sonic at her full power, mainly just because she wants to come back to the living realm. So Knuckles releases Dark Swirl thinking Sonic is going to defeat her. We come to find out that was not the case. Sonic literally, as he was going, he winds up getting into this fight with Dark Swirl. And he put up a good fight. It was an even match for the most part. And as he was going to deliver the death blow to Dark Swirl, Princess Luna sneaks up from behind and literally rams her unicorn horn or alicorn horn. She rams her alicorn horn through Sonic and kills Sonic. That doesn't kill Sonic, but Sonic loses all of his powers. And then, well, actually, he did die. Then he falls to the ground, loses all of his powers, and Sonic would die. We would start the second half of season 3 with Sonic dying. Princess Luna, after she stabs Sonic, now fully transforms into Nightmare Moon. And that's how it goes. Sonic wound up being revived by he wound up being revived by Blaze. Blaze uses the powers of the Soul Emeralds to bring Sonic back to life. And this is where Sonic really starts to get dark. This is where he really starts to dive into his dark side. Sonic, enraged by this, Sonic goes into a rage, and he leaves Ponyville. He gets into a fight with, he gets into a verbal altercation with Princess Celestia. He gets into a verbal altercation with Shadow and Twilight over releasing Dark Swirl. And literally he pretty much tells Twilight, Shadow, and Celestia to piss off. And he runs off and leaves Rainbow Dash and everybody behind. And he winds up going out to Hoofsdale Valley. What Sonic is doing there, he's trying to go there to clear his mind. But again, Dark Swirl wants to corrupt at this point, she's reunited with Princess Soletta. Princess Soletta has come back after sensing Dark Swirl was back. Soletta, who's been hiding for 1,000 years, decides to come back. And, well, she's been hiding longer than that. Soletta's been hiding for tens of thousands of years. So, sensing Dark Swirl, Soletta decides that she's going to make her presence known again. And we get into more stuff with that. So Sonic, again, I want to stay on Sonic, though. I want to stay on Sonic. So Sonic goes to Hoofsdale Valley to clear his head. And at this point, it's obvious that Twilight isn't training him. So we see Sonic in this really dark frame of mind. He's literally fighting copies of himself. He's really just trying to hone in his own Alicorn magic, and he's so pissed off over Aeon. He's pissed off over Dark Swirl and his failure to kill Dark Swirl. At this point, Sonic has taken a lot of personal L's. He's really upset. And then that's when we see Dark Swirl. Actually, Nightmare Moon is ordered by Dark Swirl to infiltrate Sonic's mind to start turning him dark. So she starts poisoning his mind with those grisly images of him being defeated by Dark Swirl, him being stabbed by Nightmare Moon. So Nightmare Moon's putting all these nightmares into his head. The other thing that Nightmare Moon wants to do is she wants Sonic to start turning dark. So it's a lot easier to corrupt the element of magic. So I'm trying to remember how this goes. God, it's been forever since I actually wrote this stuff. So I need a drink. So Nightmare Moon gives Sonic these images of what he is going to turn into when he is fully corrupted. Actually, Dark Swirl had stolen. Yeah, the other reason why Sonic was so pissed, now that I remember, Dark Swirl actually stole the element of magic off of Sonic when he was laying there dead, which was another reason why Celestia and them were so upset over Sonic, because he actually lost the element of magic. Yes, because Nightmare Moon picked it up and gave it to Dark Swirl. So at this point, they have already corrupted the element of magic. Now that I remember. So Sonic's already going through all this darkness because his element was corrupted now. So yes, that's exactly what happened. Dark Swirl wound up getting possession of the element of magic after this mid-season finale. So she corrupted it with her magic, and Sonic is slowly starting to descend into madness. And he's talking to himself. He's fighting himself. He's yeeting himself through the forest because he thinks he's fighting an evil version of himself. So it's kind of grisly and dark. I mean, if you think about the darkness that Sonic was going through, it's kind of a dark, grisly storyline. Sonic is so dark that he's losing all sense of reality. And then Suletta winds up meeting up with Dark Swirl. Dark Swirl and Nightshade wind up going to Suletta's tomb because Dark Swirl wants to resurrect Suletta. She wants to resurrect Suletta and have a relationship with her sister that she didn't have. And after that, Sonic, after that, they find out Suletta was alive the whole time, and they decide that they're going to work together. Suletta wants to still kill Dark Swirl, so they get into a fight at her tomb, a fight that Dark Swirl wins, and then she convinces Suletta to join her. Now, the big thing here is Suletta shoots her magic into the element of magic, so she can have partial control over Sonic as well. And then she goes off on her own to visit Sonic because she views Sonic as her husband, Prince Tully. So, because Sonic physically looks like his ancestor, Prince Tully. So in Suletta's mind, that is her husband. So she wants to corrupt Sonic as much. She wants to corrupt Sonic as much as Dark Swirl does. So at the end of that, Sonic's element of magic turns completely black, and when that happens, Sonic is now fully corrupted by the element of magic. Now the element of dark magic. It hasn't transformed into it yet, but it's fully corrupted his mind. We see Rainbow Dash finally tracks down Sonic, and Rainbow Dash, Sonic goes into the full Nightmare Sonic transformation, and he assaults his wife, Rainbow Dash, and then he goes off to Ponyville to try to get the rest of the elements of Harmony. He did that on his own. Actually, that's what Princess Suletta. Suletta actually ordered him to go do that. So really, we see all these changes with Sonic. He was the one who went through all these character changes, and obviously we know what happens from that on. Sonic goes on to attack his friends. He does not get the elements of Harmony in that exchange. Instead, he was saved by Sunset Shimmer, who revealed that she is the daughter of Suletta and that she is being forced into serving not only Suletta, but Dark Swirl as well. But she's literally serving Suletta, her mother. But yeah, after that, Sonic goes back to Europony to meet up with Dark Swirl, and he officially claims the element of dark magic. He accepts the crown, which once he does that, it turns him completely evil, and he is 100% now under Dark Swirl's control. And then after that, we go into the Day of the Dead episodes. There were 3 Day of the Dead episodes where Dark Swirl and Sonic unleash their plan and their plot against the heroes. By that point, the elements of Harmony were completely corrupted and turned into the elements of dark magic, or the elements of disharmony, whatever. They were turned into the dark elements, the elements of nightmares is what Dark Swirl called them. Then we get the attack and the fight between them. And then after that, yes, it was the elements of nightmares. So then after that, I'm glad you pay attention to all this, Elijah. It's a lot of writing. I'm trying to remember all the terms I gave this stuff. So that once that's done and over with, and Dark Swirl is finally defeated by Shadow, then we start to see Sonic calm down a little bit. We start to see Sonic start to turn back to his regular self. At this point, Sonic is well aware of how to use his Alicorn abilities, mainly because of the element of dark magic and Dark Swirl. He now knows how to use this magic to the point where he actually creates a clone of the evil nightmare side of himself to spar with. So by the end of the season, Sonic is back to his old self for the most part. And then, let's see. This leaves the question to what's next for Sonic. Like, so what's next for Sonic? So, as this season 3 came to a close, Sonic is then once again drawn back into this fight with Aeon, because Aeon, immediately following the fights with Dark Swirl, during the fight with Dark Swirl, we actually see Aeon absorb Nightshade's powers. He absorbs Nightshade's Mark of Hurt powers, and now having that, Aeon now has 1/3 of the Triad of Power. And he escapes. Once he senses that Shadow is on his way, we see Aeon escape, and then that's when Nightshade tells Shadow, that backstabbing rat Aeon betrayed me and stole my Mark of Hurt powers inside of his amulet. So, once Dark Swirl is defeated, now Shadow is under the notion that, yeah, we may have defeated Dark Swirl, but now we got to deal with Aeon, who's now absorbed he's already absorbed 1/3 of the Triad of Power with Nightshade. So the plan now is that they're going to open the portal to Tartarus to try to get Sonya out. Twilight says Sonya can serve her prison sentence at my castle. Sonya was sentenced to Tartarus because she tried to kill Nightshade. Somewhere around the episode 7 or 8 mark, she attempted to kill Nightshade and start a war. And it almost did. Nightshade almost went to war with the heroes. So Twilight she wants to bring Sonya back to her castle and put her on castle arrest so they can keep an eye on her and make sure Aeon doesn't absorb her powers. But by the time they did that, it's already too late. Aeon used his amulet to open a portal to Tartarus. He beat the crap out of Sybaris, who is the 3-headed dog that protects Tartarus and keeps Tartarus, secure. So Aeon beat the crap out of Sybaris, and then he released Sonya from her prison cell just to absorb her powers. And then we're off and running. Aeon decides that it's too big of a risk for me to go after Prince William. So, because the second I do, everybody's going to know that I'm here. So he decides it's going to be easier to absorb, to go travel back to the past and absorb Will's powers in the past, which he does. Shadow and Starlight come up with a plan. They go after Aeon. They fail, and that leads to Aeon becoming the god of power. They come back, and then they're just awaiting their fate. They have no clue where Aeon is. We would come to find out Aeon runs off to go kill Eclipse to exact his revenge, which was the initial reason why Aeon wanted to absorb the god of power powers, because he wants to kill Eclipse. So he's able to track Eclipse down to planet 3756R, and he kills Eclipse by blowing up the planet. A little bit of overkill, but at that point, Aeon didn't really give a shit. He's kind of not in the right frame of mind because he's lost Sunset now twice. 2 different versions of Sunset died, while Aeon was there. He also lost Amber. So at this point, Aeon's kind of suicidal. But at the last moment, instead of him committing suicide in that planet explosion, he decides to last minute open a portal and get his revenge on Sonic, which is where we come to with Aeon's revenge and the season finale. So again, it took 40 minutes for me to get there, but here we are, full circle from Sonic's revenge to Aeon's revenge. So now, in order to have Aeon's revenge, you have to go all the way back to the start of season 3, and it goes back to when Sonic literally humiliated Aeon and destroyed his amulet. Aeon never forgot about that, and thinking that, look, these guys tried to kill me, so I'm gonna exact my revenge out on them. So that's how we got to the full circle Aeon's revenge. So we have reached the end of that little segment that I wanted to talk about, the overall synopsis of season 3, which, as you can, trying to sum up that entire season in 40 minutes was a little rough. So there was a lot to try to divulge there and a lot to try to dig through, but now you guys can understand why season 3 was so freaking violent. And just the fight sequences in this season alone, the Sonic versus Aeon fights, the Sonic versus Shadow fight was fantastic. Sonic attacking the heroes when he first turned evil was fantastic. I just felt like all of the fights had some sort of deep story involved in it, and it made it that much more intense and made it that much more emotionally connected with the characters. It was just a great season all in all. I felt like the balance that we had with it was great. You got the right amount of storyline, you got the right amount of funny moments, you got the right fun, the right part of fighting. It was just a good combination of things. And like I said, by the 3rd season, you should be writing more intense storylines, which is what I wanted. So we've talked about Sonic, we've talked about character changes. And one of the big changes that I wanted to introduce into the series. Well, you know what? Before we get into that, I see you guys are still chatting, so I want to get back into your chats. Elijah Dodoritz says Suletta wants her Tully back. Yes, indeed. Michael Collins also says, I'll never understand how Rarity can't fight it off being a unicorn. Well, the other thing is, too, Michael, she has to have power. Part of it is magical prowess and magical power. While, yes, Rarity's magical abilities are very good, and she does know a lot of really cool spells, I don't think power-wise her magic is as powerful as one would think. And it's not like Rarity goes out looking for fights. Michael says, well, she should have been able to. I don't think her power, I mean, we're talking about a chaos demigod as far as Dark Swirl. So there's no way Rarity is going to fight that off. Not a chaos demigod. Not the magic of a chaos demigod. Elijah says Alicorn magic trumps unicorn magic, and that's exactly how that's pretty much well stated, Elijah. But again, in this instance, it's Rarity's magic versus Dark Swirl's magic, who's a chaos demigod, which to me, Dark Swirl easily trumps Rarity. Let's see. Brandon Henderson asks, will Dark Swirl and Suletta return in Harmony and Chaos? No. They're officially dead. I can't think of a way to bring them back realistically. Shadow pretty much obliterated Dark Swirl from all existence. So she will not be coming back. And Suletta was blasted into, she literally was incinerated into pieces. So there's no way she's coming back. She was actually impaled. Suletta was impaled by Nightmare Moon, who wanted revenge on her for killing Fidget. So Suletta's end was met by Nightmare Moon. Janesha Jones, don't remind me of Mr. Fidget. May you rest in peace. And poor Cream. At least she became an angel. Yes. And actually, Allie, I'm glad you brought that up, because I've stated multiple times that one of my biggest regrets of Harmony and Chaos was when I killed Cream off in the fight with the Changelings. That was one of the moments that never sat well with me. So in season 3, I wanted, knowing that I had a voice actress in Solaria who could voice Cream and voice Cream very well. I was kind of like, I got to bring Cream back somehow. I'm going to I know how I can tie it back in, because Cream has been dead. So she's been hanging out with Cosmo in the other world. So maybe they turned Cream into an angel because she was kind of a pure-hearted being when she was alive. So why not? I think that was kind of a cool way to do it. The reason why I kind of have the Cedrians as like angels and why Queen Earthaya is the head mistress, or she's the head angel, is because in Sonic X they stated that Cosmo's race was essentially the protectors of the universe. They were the protectors of the universe. So I kind of wanted to tie that in from Sonic X into Harmony and Chaos and kind of have like them be angels when they die. Because I mean, even Cosmo said that our race will continue to look over the universe even after we're gone. We still look over the universe after we're gone. So getting back into it, yeah, Elijah hit the nail on the head with Brandon. Probably not. Yeah, he's right. I can't think of any reason why to bring them back. Let's see. Janesha and Elijah giving each other hugs. Elijah also says 5 years of work in 40 minutes. Yep. 5 years of work in 40 minutes, man. Brandon Henderson said, could the elements of disharmony exist? I think I kind of covered that with Dark Swirl. I don't think I'm going to do another angle where the elements of harmony are. I'm not going to do any more. I don't think I'm going to do another angle with the elements of harmony being corrupted. I don't think I will. In actuality, the elements of disharmony is what I used as the elements of nightmares. So, I'm not going to have the elements of disharmony exist, mainly because I had the elements of nightmares already. Janesha Jones, not to get off topic, but you and the others' voice acting is amazing. Wish I could do that, but let's see. I'm going to get back. She says, not to get off topic, but you and the other voice actors are amazing. I'm happy that everyone is very talented for the voice acting. Well, thank you, Janesha. We all work very hard when it comes down to the voice acting. We try to put as much emotion into these episodes as we can. As we saw in the season finale, the amount of screaming Plush and I had to do for fight scenes, it was amazing. I loved every minute that I get to spend with them. Voice acting, when we do the voice sessions in Discord, they're a lot of fun. My entire team is a lot of fun to work with. They work very hard. And some of those recording sessions last 4 hours. Usually, typically, they go about 4 hours, and to the point where we're just all so exhausted, we either finish it or we're after 4 hours, we're just kind of like, we're done. I can't. We need a break. Michael Collins said the way Thorax ruled, I didn't like, as I've said it before. He rules way too pacifistic for my tastes. Yeah, I agree with you. Which is why Thorax gets murdered at near the end of season 1. Yeah, and the changelings wind up going back to Chrysalis. You sometimes need to be assertive to defend yourself. That is correct. Brandon Henderson says, Discord, if you and Fluttershy are such good and close friends, then do you love her romantically? No, he does not. Not in Harmony and Chaos. He does love her as far as like brotherly sisterly love, best friend kind of love. But in the reboots currently, Discord literally lies about being gay just because he doesn't want Fluttershy to figure out that he's really in love with Celestia. So he kind of told a lie to Fluttershy. She doesn't know it yet, but he didn't know how to tell her. Discord didn't know how to tell Fluttershy that he's not in love with her, that he's in love with Celestia. Let's see. Oh, yeah, in canon MLP for sure. Discord is in love with Fluttershy. I happen to think that in that last episode of MLP, the one that ended the series. I think him and Fluttershy are secretly together. They didn't really insinuate it, but I think if you actually see it, Discord opens that portal from his realm, and Fluttershy jumps out of that portal. So it's kind of like, ayo, wait a minute. Fluttershy was spending time with Discord in his realm. Oh, what's going on there? So yeah, that's the last time we saw Fluttershy in MLP canon. Was Fluttershy came out of Discord's realm with Discord. So it was actually kind of cool. So you can make the assumptions that her and Discord are together by the end of it. You can assume, and I think that was what was I know one of the things that the My Little Pony writers wanted to say was they wanted us to continue My Little Pony for them. Because they said we left a lot of things open for you guys to do fan fictions on, to kind of build your own stories and continue the story. I know that was what getting to meet some of those writers at that, actually, ironically, it was at that last pony convention that I was at where I started season 3, where I actually got to meet M.A. Larson. And he actually did say that they left, that they wanted to leave season 9 open for the fanfic writers to continue on with that series to see what we came up with. It was up to us to keep it going. So basically, yeah, that's what he said. Let's see. Brandon says, I'm kind of confused as to why Fluttershy kept learning the importance of being assertive over and over again. Levi says, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Levi. Well, it's for Fluttershy, if you think about it, her being assertive was important because prior to meeting the girls, she was just really shy. And she could never she really didn't have too many friends. So Fluttershy being more assertive is actually a good thing as far as character development goes for her. I thought it was good because if Fluttershy had not been assertive, could she have reformed Discord or helped reform Discord? I don't think so. I think Fluttershy constantly being assertive and learning assertiveness is a big thing in that series. Lion God 360. Hey, Michael, have you ever seen the last adventure comic? I have not. Michael Collins, are the changelings effectively extinct? No, they are not. In Harmony and Chaos, they are not. There are 6 changelings left. 6 of them. One of them is Ocellus. I will say this. One of the changelings that is alive is Ocellus. So keep that in mind, because that's going to come into play. Let's see. So there's 6 changelings left, one of them being Ocellus. You'll see that come into play later on in Harmony and Chaos. No, Thorax is dead. Thorax is dead. Thorax ain't coming back. Lion God. He dies near the end of season 1, and he dies in one of the most brutal fashions. Yeah. Brandon says, I'm working on an MLP fan fiction that my mom likes so far. I just finished a story called The Princesses of Harmony, and I'm working on a sequel called A Pregnancy of Chaos. Ooh, wow. Thorax, the Lion God says Thorax, question marks. No, Thorax is dead. So getting back into the review, the next topic I really wanted to discuss, and really this is one of the big focal points of season 3. I wanted to introduce the notion that there are chaos demigods, that these chaos emeralds, we have seen them spawn chaos. We've seen them in the Archie comics. Enerjack is the god of chaos. He's the ultimate god of chaos. So Enerjack is essentially the god of the chaos emeralds and the master emerald. So he is like the final boss of all of these chaos demigods, is Enerjak. And we're going to come to find out that Enerjak is actually the god that defeated the god of power, Herc. So, yeah, the marks of Herc, the Triad of Power. It was actually Enerjak who killed Herc. We will come to find that out. So, moving on here. So I wanted to introduce this notion of chaos demigods. And much like, the Dragon Ball world, I wanted there to be this other world, the divine world, the divine realm, that there are gods in existence in this reality. So getting into that, I wanted to introduce Dark Swirl and Suletta. Now, Suletta's not a chaos demigod, but I definitely wanted to introduce Dark Swirl into the series because I felt like she's the weakest or one of the weaker chaos demigods that we're going to see in the series. I think I just gave it away that we're going to have some more chaos demigods to deal with, which we are. Chaos is going to also probably be one of them. He's going to be a very, very much upgraded version of the chaos that we've seen in the past. But yes, we are going to get Chaos himself. So yes, eventually. And these Chaos Demigods is actually one of the big announcements I want to make at the end of this live stream. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I basically just wanted to introduce this idea of Chaos Demigods. Because we're ultimately, once all of these Chaos Demigods have made their presence known, we're going to get into the final boss, which is Enerjak himself. And you guys aren't going to want Enerjak, because when I do Enerjak, that's the final season of Harmony and Chaos. So we don't want to rush. We don't want to rush to Enerjak yet. I literally want to say Dark Swirl, she's kind of changed Harmony and Chaos forever. Because I think the thing with Dark Swirl was she was able to corrupt Sonic, and essentially show that Sonic does have a dark side. And if he's not careful, it can be used against him. I think that her presence changed a lot of, it also helped Sonic get stronger, and become more in tune with his Alicorn side, his Alicorn abilities. We also see Suletta get tied into all of this. Everybody thought that Princess Suletta, after she was overthrown, that she committed suicide by drinking a vial of poison. Turns out she drank a sleeping potion that allowed her to sleep for 1,000 years. So she wound up waking up and all that other stuff. And then we saw pretty much everything about the Princess Suletta diary that she kept when she was a ruler. She pretty much just kept a written record of everything that was important. So after that, the other really big thing I want to take out of season 3, we also see a major evolution in Shadow. Shadow goes through also a lot of big changes, especially when we see Sonic become Nightmare Sonic. The role of hero is now solely placed on Shadow. Shadow's kind of always been this dark, mysterious entity in the series. Obviously, at the end of at the start of season 2, we saw Shadow get corrupted by Chrysalis. Chrysalis, she kissed Shadow, and as she kissing Shadow, she tasted evil in his love. So she puts a spell on Shadow and turns him evil. So we go from that point to where Shadow is now in season 3, where he's madly in love with Twilight. He wants to help Twilight take care of the baby. He winds up getting engaged to Twilight, and he's really he's not becoming a softie, but he's definitely he's starting to realize what he was created for, and that was to help mankind. But obviously, mankind being Earthlings. But in this case, helping Equestria and saving Equestria and being a hero. And Shadow starts to embrace that role. It is with the powers of Alicorn magic and the powers of Discord's chaos magic that we come to see that there's this new, really explosively powerful form that Shadow has gotten himself into, known as, I know it's Hyper Shadow, but for Harmony and Chaos lore, it's going to be considered Super Alicorn form. So Shadow is given all of this Alicorn magic and chaos magic that it literally spawns a transformation in itself. And as we're going to see near the end of season 3, like in the final episodes, we actually see Shadow ask the question, can Sonic reach the same level I did when I defeated Dark Swirl? And the reason Shadow asks this question is because he knows it's Alicorn magic and even Discord's chaos magic. He realizes it's all that magic on top of his own powers that have led to this transformation. It is also in that moment that Shadow realizes that this power is temporary and it's not permanent. So Shadow now in his mind is like, well, I wonder, can Sonic obtain this power? If his power keeps increasing at the rate that it is, can he essentially get to this form? And Twilight tells him, I'm not really sure, Shadow, because with you, not only did you absorb my powers and Princess Celestia and Luna's powers, but you also absorbed Discord's chaos energy. So there's no telling if that was the reason you transformed into this Super Alicorn form or whatever. And she's like, but there's no telling as to what's going to happen with Sonic yet. But I think we all kind of know where that's going. The other reference that Twilight made, and this is kind of an important reference for future down the line, is that Twilight says, the magic that you guys, that you absorbed, Sonic's power just continues to grow. His magic is continuing to grow at a rate that has never been seen before in Equestria. So there's this notion that something big is going to happen with Sonic, future on down the line. He's not there yet, but there's this whole notion that there's this whole other Hyper / Alicorn form that Sonic can reach now. And the thing is Twilight tells Shadow, you absorbed Alicorn magic. Sonic is capable of creating this magic on his own. You don't have that ability, Shadow. So once you run out of magic, that's it. It's gone for you. Whereas Sonic is going to just continue to grow and grow and grow. So I have written here, so that falls into the category of what's next for Sonic. What is next for Sonic? Is it this new form that we saw Shadow take that was temporary for him, but could be permanent for Sonic? So we don't know. Another major thing that happened as a result of Aeon absorbing the Marks of Herc powers, and it's another thing that it's going to become a focal point in the series, are these time rifts that Aeon wound up opening when he himself destroyed his amulets on planet 3756R to prevent Eclipse from getting his hands on it. So these time rifts are going to be a big deal. I said it before in the prior Kingdom episode. These time rifts are a big deal. And you're going to see why further on down the line, why these time rifts are a big deal. We kind of saw it already when Twilight came through, past Twilight, that is. With these time rifts being there, who knows who is going to use those time rifts and what is going to come through those time rifts when they do come through. Another thing to keep in mind about that, those time rifts are going to be a big deal. At the end of season 3, we also saw the arrival of Eggman and Infinite. Now, I stated before, I always left Eggman open as to how quickly I was going to bring him into the series. There's a couple of different reasons why I've decided to bump Eggman's arrival up by about 2 or 3 seasons. I did it because I'm getting a lot of requests for Eggman to show up. I felt that it was the right time to do it, mainly because I feel like I really didn't have much planned for season 4. My original goal for season 4 was just to get these characters back to peace and not really do anything major in season 4. I really wasn't. I had no conflicts originally set. It wasn't until about summertime, about halfway through summer, where I wanted to do this Sonic Forces arc. And in order to do that, you need Eggman there. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to finish up this thing that I'm doing with the Marks of Herc and the God of Power. And then I want to tie in to Eggman showing up and doing the Sonic Forces arc that I've been wanting to do. And then it gave me something for season 4 as well. And as you guys saw, the Chaos Emeralds split up and they went across the planet. And I was like, how interesting would it be to have Eggman there when this happens? Because now we kind of have the chase for the Chaos Emeralds again. So that was another reason why I did it. I just felt the timing right now was right to bring in Eggman versus wait until season 6 or 7. I just felt the timing was right at this point. And Elijah says, and I collapsed. Yes, Hunter did collapse. So we get this arrival of Eggman, and then we come to find out he did not come alone. He has this being Infinite with him. And if you guys remember, when I introduced Hunter into the series, Hunter said he was, the reason he came to Equestria was because he wanted to get away from Eggman, and he felt that his life was in danger due to Infinite being the one that tried to impale and kill Hunter on Mobius. Once Eggman found out that Hunter was friends with Sonic and he had befriended Sonic, he wanted Hunter eliminated. So to eliminate one of his mistakes, he ordered Infinite to kill Hunter. So Hunter never knew who attacked him until he confronts Infinite in the second to last episode of season 3. We see Hunter actually confront him, and he admitted that he was the one who attempted to kill him. So season 3 in a nutshell, we ended with Eggman and Infinite coming to Equestria, and then we also end it with this big fight with the God of Power, Aeon. And as we ended the season, we kind of ended it on this question of, where is Nightshade? Where the hell is Nightshade? He's gone. Like, what happened to him? Well, when we start the 4th season, you're going to see what happens with Nightshade and where he is. Yeah. So, we have this fight. It's left wide open. Sonic literally lost. He lost the fight just as he was going to kill Aeon with the Harmony Chaos Cannon. He faints and loses his powers, and the Chaos Emeralds scatter across the planet. And then we're left with all these questions as, okay, is Sonic dead? Is Aeon, is there anyone left who's going to defeat Aeon? Who's going to beat Aeon now? So we kind of leave it there. Where's Nightshade? Yada, yada, all that stuff. So the last thing I want to talk about as far as the recap goes is I want to take a look as to what's to come in season 4. And I'm not going to give away spoilers. That's not what this is about. So at the end of this season, we're left with a lot of questions. Left with a lot of questions as to, okay, what becomes of Sonic? Is he going to reach a new level? What's going to happen? So this is what's going to happen. We literally, in season 4, are going to have the birth of we're going to have Twilight give birth to her baby. We're also going to find out who the father is of that baby. Let's see. Obviously, I told you guys we're going to do the Sonic Forces arc. This is my own unique spin on Sonic Forces. But this is literally my take. If I were to write Sonic Forces arc, this is how I would write it. So you guys are getting my version of Sonic Forces. We already saw some changes with the main storyline with the Phantom Ruby. If you guys haven't picked up on it yet, the Phantom Ruby is legitimately a hodgepodge of Alicorn and Unicorn magic that Princess Soletta crammed into this ruby. So that's why Sonic is able to sense Alicorn magic, and why him and Twilight can sense disturbances in the balance of Alicorn magic, or the balance of magic. That's why they can feel imbalances, because of the Phantom Ruby having Alicorn and Unicorn magic. I'm not going to tell you why that was created. I get into it in season 4. I've already written it. That explains the Phantom Ruby a little bit more. I also want to get back into the chat with you guys. So what else is coming in season 4? So we got the Sonic Forces. We also have new OCs. There will be new characters coming into the series. I'm not going to say it. I kind of already started it, but there will be more characters coming into the series as well. The other big thing is season 4 is going to end. Season 4 season finale is going to end with a royal wedding. So take that as you may. The season finale of season 4 will be a royal wedding. So I've already got my end points for season 4. Now we got to get there. Let's see. Trying to think of anything else I want to say about that. No, that's it. Some of the other things that are worth mentioning about season 3. I made reference to a lot of character changes. And yes, these characters went through a lot in season 3. One of the big changes is Manic. Manic is no longer in Harmony and Chaos. He is being written off the series, essentially. He's not permanently going to be gone. The thing about Manic is, obviously, he was attacked by Pinkie Pie when she was corrupted, stabbed, tormented. And Manic is so heartbroken over it that he can't really get past it yet. He hasn't dealt with it emotionally yet. So he decides that he's going to move on. He moves to Manhattan to get away from Pinkie Pie, to get away from Ponyville and all the drama and the stress, and to start his own life in Manhattan. The other reason why we will see Manic one more time in season 4. Episode 100, we will be hitting our 100th episode special in season 4. That will be the 4th episode of season 4. And I already have something planned for that. That will be the Grand Galloping Gala episode, and it will be the episode that celebrates the 1-year anniversary of the Mobians being in Equestria, which is why that episode is so important. So Manic will be in that episode. Manic is actually performing with the DJ Pone 3 band at that gala. So there'll be some interaction between Pinkie Pie and Manic. No doubt about it. Manic is going to give Pinkie Pie a little bit of closure in that episode. But after that, Manic leaves. We will not see Manic again for at least until season 5. at least. Manik is moving on with his life. He's and after the Grand Galloping Gala, Manik is going to go on a global tour with the band. The DJ Poem 3 band will go on a global tour, which is why Manik has been written off of season 4, if you saw the opening credits. But, we have not seen the last of Manik by any stretch. He's got to deal with his emotions. He's got a lot to deal with. So, what Manik was going to be written off regardless. So that's kind of why I did it the way I did. Manik was going to go on this world tour anyway. So he was going to be written off. I wanted to give him some sort of a solid story as to why he was going to get written off. And that's why I kind of had Pinkie Pie attack him. Just because I wanted to have that little story in there as to why he left. But yes, he's going on a global tour with his band, which is he was ultimately going to get written off anyway. So that's how it goes. Before I want to sum this up, I think I summed up season 3 pretty well there. The other big thing is we saw Fluttershy and Tails also break up as a result of Sonic being corrupted. Moving forward, we wanted to see some changes. I wanted there to be some changes. I didn't want to keep writing the same old. I want these characters to have their struggles. One of the things that I also did in season 3 was brought Cosmo back to life. I did not originally write Tails planting Cosmo's seed in season 1. I'm going to actually show the moments. I'm actually going to add that into season 1 to one of the episodes where Tails asks Fluttershy for permission to plant Cosmo's seed. I'm actually going to add that into the first season. So like I said, these reboots are kind of cool because now I can get to go back and kind of fill in the blanks and redo some stuff that I didn't really do. Let's see. Other than that, guys, I really don't have anything else, but I know moving forward, you guys kind of want to know if Fluttershy is going to ship with Vector. We'll have to stay tuned. Stay tuned to that. I will say this. Fluttershy and Vector have a very good. They wind up having a very. From what I have planned for Fluttershy and Vector, they have a very wholesome relationship. Like it's going to be a very wholesome relationship between those two, and it's going to be a very slow developing thing because obviously Fluttershy is going through her own heartache. So it's actually very sweet how Vector and Fluttershy happen. It's going to be a very slow process, and it's going to be a sweet one. Like Vector's, like it's going to be cool. Like I really am going to like building up that relationship between those two. But yeah. Let's see if there's anything else I am leaving out. All right, so I think I've pretty much summed up everything I wanted to with season 3. I'm going to go ahead and open up the forum for Q&A. I'm going to go back into the chat and read your guys's chats, your voice chats, or your text chats. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get some music playing in the background. But yeah. Ugh, where's my speaker?
Power on.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting my music back. Getting my music going for the outro here. Oh no. Yeah, I got to get back into the there we go. I actually programmed out an entire music thing.
Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to jump back into the chat with you guys. Before I do that, I also wanted to actually, you know what? I'm going to pause the music because this is kind of a big deal. I'm going to pause that for a minute. I actually have a big announcement that I need to make. At the end of season 4, when season 4 is all over with and done, we are going to get our first ever Harmony and Chaos movie. I've brainstormed this movie idea. And remember how I told you guys, remember about the Chaos Demigods, remember? So at the end of season 4, when we wrap up season 4 and we get through season 4 completely, at some point in between season 4 and season 5, I'm going to release a Harmony and Chaos movie, and it's going to be called Harmony and Chaos Frozen Inferno. What it is, it's basically 2 Chaos Demigods who are twin brothers get released from the Chaos Emerald simultaneously. And they are the sons of Princess Saletta. These 2, obviously, Frozen Inferno, one's fire, one's ice. So they are going to be released from the Chaos Emeralds. And they don't like each other. They have a secret hatred for one another, and they start to fight once they get released. And we're going to see how this ties in with all the heroes, but it is going to be, I don't want to spoil and give you guys all the ideas, but yes, when I finish season 4, we will have a Harmony and Chaos movie called Harmony and Chaos Frozen Inferno. So yes, that will be something we get after season 4. So we're a couple years away from it, and I'm still developing the story in my head, but I do have the guts and the inner makeups of how this story is going to unfold. I just got to come up with all the little details. But yes, that's it. So that's the last big thing I had to say. But okay, we'll get back in. Now we'll get into the Q&A and your guys' comments. Now I can start the music. All right, so I'm scrolling up. Brandon Henderson says, Fluttercord is the main shipping in my fan fiction stories. Michael Collins, what makes the way Thorax ruled bad is because in our own history, rulers who ruled like Thorax did tend to get conquered. Yes. Not always. Not always, but yeah, I agree with that. Elijah nervously gulps. Janesha Jones. Wait, more demigods? Does that mean the one you released is a demigod or a devil? No, it's a demigod, Janesha. There are quite a few. There's at least... And not all of them are demigods, though. Not all of them are demigods. Some of the beings that are locked inside the Chaos Emeralds are just locked inside the Chaos Emeralds, like Finitavis. Dr. Finitavis is also in there. So we'll have to wait and see how this all unfolds over the years. Like I said, I have a lot of ideas, man. I have a ton of ideas. The other good thing about that Harmony and Chaos movie, when I do come out with it, it's going to be canon. So it's going to tie in season 4 and into season 5. It's actually going to be canon. So it's not just going to be a random movie that's not canon. It is. It's going to be a canon story. So what happens in the movie is going to be part of the series. But yes. Levi says, question, will Mephiles make an appearance? I do not know. I don't know. I don't want to... I'm leaning toward no to Mephiles. I'm like 75% no. I just don't know how to tie him in yet. I don't. Maybe those time rifts is a way to tie him in. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Elijah says, why am I getting Shadow Dragon vibes? No. No, you're not getting Shadow. No. Levi McClellan said, nah, he is the ultimate simp lord. Yes, Shadow is a simp lord. Simp hog. Brandon Henderson asks, who exactly is Cosmo? The best way to explain Cosmo's character is she is a Cedrian from Sonic X, from the Sonic X series. Her brother happens to be Dark Oak, as a matter of fact. His real self was Lucas. Her people, the Cedrians, were basically the overseers of the universe, the protectors of the universe. So, yep. And in Sonic X, Tails and Cosmo were not engaged in Sonic X, but they were definitely romantically interested in one another. I don't think they ever showed those two romantically. I don't think those two ever were an official couple, but I kind of embellished the truth a little bit for Harmony and Chaos purposes. Elijah asked, Senpai, where did you go? I'm still here, Hunter. Oh, you must be referring to the actual episode. Well, you'll just have to stay tuned, Hunter. Levi says he went on holiday in Florida. Actually, if I were to go on to vacation, I would probably go skiing. I don't know why that was the first thing that came into my mind. Lion God says the Force. Elijah says, did you know that Modders actually made an add-on to Sonic Forces? I did. I just haven't seen it. I've seen it on... Yeah, I saw there was like a Shadow arc. They added a Shadow story. There was... I think there was a Shadow story that was added to it. I remember seeing that on YouTube. Michael Collins, at Michael, it's about time, Michael, that plot point has been going on forever, and I wanted to know who the father was since the December arc. Again, that is a spoiler. I cannot give away the spoiler. So you're just going to have to stay tuned for that. I promise you it's part of Season 4 storylines. You just got to be patient. We got to be patient. I don't want to rush stories because if I give you all the information, what's the point of watching? But yeah, we're getting it. You're going to get the truth, believe me. Plush is quoting his OC as Wrath. This might be my chance to shine. I can't do the laugh. My voice is gone. Michael Collins says, it's Pinky's fault as Sonic did tell her to not harm Manic, but she ignored it. Levi says, true. I say true. Brandon Henderson, who exactly is Infinite? Play Sonic Forces, Brandon. You'll know who Infinite is. And I don't want to give away necessarily who Infinite is because it's part of the storyline in Season 4. And you start to see more of his backstory in Season 4. So some of this stuff I can't give you guys that you're asking because there are spoilers. Janesha Jones. Oh, that's sad that Manic won't be in Season 4, but I'm looking forward to see what new characters will be in the season, as am I. I am bringing in 2 OCs. Good old Philia and Bonnet. Now, I'm going to tell you with Philia, there's going to be insanity with that character. A lot of F-bombs, as I've stated before. She likes to drop her F-bombs. I have daily conversations with Philia in the Discord chats. She's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. That's one of Solaria's OCs. I love Philia. She's funny. She's funny. Michael Collins says, I'm glad it's not going to be Slice of Life, as that episode was terrible in hindsight. Um, he's referring to the finale of My Little Pony. Lion God says, Harmony and Chaos is like One Piece in a way. I'll take that as a compliment. One Piece is a fantastic series. And it's going to, it's got a lot of, it's going to have a lot of episodes. It's going to have a lot of seasons and a lot of episodes. A lot. Brandon Henderson, are all Chaos demigods and Harmony and Chaos evil? No. Not all. Like for the movie, the movie that I'm going to come out with, shit, I'm trying to think of their names. I came up with their names. I got to write them down. Frostbite is one of the hedgehogs, and the other hedgehog, his name is Inferno. So Frostbite and Inferno are going to be those two Chaos demigods. They're not necessarily evil. They just don't like each other. And they were pretty powerful. So they get locked away in the Chaos Emeralds because their war against one another almost, again, I don't want to give it away. I'm not giving it away because that's the movie. I'm giving away all my ideas. But no, to answer your question, not all the demigods are going to be evil. I would not call those characters evil per se. They just have beef with each other. Okay. Elijah says, the way I understand him, Infinite is a jackal mercenary who was later employed by Eggman and bestowed upon the Ruby. Pretty much a well summed up synopsis of Infinite. Again, I explain it all more in detail. There's a lot more to it than that. Again, I don't want to ruin season 4. I do explain it. Sonic and Infinite have a moment in season 4 where that gets divulged. Infinite's backstory, so I don't want to divulge it. Michael Collins, evil is subjective, Brandon, which is true. Levi also says that. Lion God, there's One Piece long, and then there's Harmony and Chaos long. Also very true. So Elijah says, right now you need at least 2 days to watch the whole series nonstop. I don't condone anybody watching Harmony and Chaos for 2 days straight. You gotta eat and touch grass and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I definitely, if you're gonna binge watch Harmony and Chaos from the start, I suggest doing maybe at most 3 episodes a day, at most, and kind of do it as your day is unwinding, and you're getting ready for bed. Get like your nighttime snack, and watch it that way. I definitely don't try to sit through the entire series straight through. You'll. I don't want you guys passing out. Let's see. Janesha Jones. Wait, question. Does Cream see her mom in heaven? Yes. When Cream died, she was with her mom in heaven, as was as was Cosmo. Janesha Jones, since Sonic's world was destroyed. Yes. Yeah. So Cream, Cream definitely saw her mom up there. Let's see. The last, oh my goodness. Powering. Welcome to Lansing, Brandon Henderson. I'm sensing a Luna Nightshade shipping in Harmony and Chaos. Maybe. I haven't decided where I'm going with this love triangle that Nightshade is going to get himself into. Elijah Dordowich, maybe. Couldn't have said that better myself. Lion God, wait, what? A movie? And Elijah says, yep, Dragon Ball GT vibes. You must be referring to the Chaos Emeralds being the Black Dragon Balls, Black Star Balls, or whatever. Or the, no, it's not like that. Kind of. Well, it's kind of. Levi, oh God, I'll need more Florida Man. I'll need more Florida Man coffee. Brandon Henderson, no spoilers. I agree. Probably saying that as rarity. Janesha Jones, movie of Harmony and Cast. Yeah, let's go. Can't wait. Yep, that's coming at the end of season 4. Brandon Henderson, Fluttershy, do you love Discord romantically in canon MLP? Yes, of course I love Discord. Solaria, what's going on, chat? It's me, your favorite Michael Bullier, says Solaria. Sup? Brandon Henderson, will the characters from Super Mario Brothers be in Harmony and Chaos? Absolutely freaking not. That let me answer that question the best way I know how. Yeah. I do not like Mario being anywhere near the ponies. No. Mario and the ponies don't mix. So no, absolutely not. There will not be one Mario aspect involved with Harmony and Chaos. Solaria, Michael, what in the name of donuts are you playing in the background? Throws me. It's my background outro music. It is called Pilot, The Return. What's currently playing. Actually, I gotta replay that one because I don't have another song after that. Brandon Henderson, when in Sonic X was Cosmo seen? Because I don't remember seeing her at all. She is seen in the final season of Sonic X. She's the little green plant-looking thing. Yes, she is in season 3, the final season. Let's see. Janisha Jones, was in there in Sonic X. I watched it so many times, I almost remember everyone in it. Solaria says she exists to bully me. I can confirm that is true. That is truth. God, you guys. Oh my God, Will Atkinson is in the chat. Holy moly. What up, Will? Oh my God. Will Atkinson, the guy who inspired Nightshade. Yeah. He is the creator of Nightshade, Prince William, and Fidget. So we can all thank Will Atkinson right here in the chat for all those characters. Oh my God, man, I haven't seen you in forever, Will. He is creating a new series called Tales of the Dragonfire. I hope you like it as you did my other series in my old account. Will, I'm giving you permission to link that series in this chat. If you link that, I will pin it. For those of you who don't remember Will Atkinson was one of the original Sonic MLP content creators. Way back in the day. I'm glad to see him. Let's see. Anyway, guys, I saw a couple of more questions I want to get to before I sign off. Solaria last and I screeched no. And no Powerpuff Girls in Harmony and Chaos. Although, I do reference Double Sonic Rainbow in Season 4. I've already referenced it. So I don't know, maybe. Maybe we do get a Powerpuff Girl episode. I don't know. You know what? I can't say no to that. Because I do reference Double Rainbow. I've already written it. So we'll have to see. Anyway, guys. I am going to get the heck out of here. That was the Season 3 wrap-up for Harmony and Chaos. That's all I got. I will see you guys. Probably the next live stream I do will probably be for the reboots episode 7. That'll probably be the next time I go live. Other than that, I'm about halfway through writing the second episode for season 4. So there we go. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. What a hell of a season we had for Harmony and Chaos. Season 3 has come and gone. 2023 has come and gone. I hope 2024 is good for all of us. And guys, I will see you on later on in the year. Till then, stay safe out there. Love you guys.